Welcome to the Imperfect Dads Podcast. This is your host, Devon. We believe dads care deeply about their family and kids, but they don't always have a space to discuss what their life looks like. Our podcast is a space for dads to discuss the ups and downs of fatherhood and how they feel like they're holding it together or how they're not. Thank you for joining us for this episode. This podcast is part of the Never a Face Network. Make sure to follow them on Instagram or go to the website neverafacenetwork.com. On this episode, we have on bassist Eric Baines. Eric has played with bands such as Dwight, Yoakam, Keiko, Matsui, and currently is a member of the legendary band Chicago. He also has a podcast called the Dive Bar Rockstar Podcast. We talked about moving from LA to Nashville, touring when you're a dad, transitioning from bus to home life, when your son thinks he owns the tour bus, sleep deprivation, parenting anxiety, working on his own music when he's at home, what it's like when family visits on tour, and how he joined Chicago and what it's like to be in the band. Make sure to catch Chicago on tour this year with Styx and check out his podcast, which is called the Dive Bar Rockstar Podcast. Just like one more thing.
Dad, just start the episode.
Oh, my bad.
Hey, Eric, welcome to an episode of The Imperfect Dads. Really appreciate you taking the time to do one.
Well, thank you for having me. It's an interesting topic and a new one for me. I only have a 5-year-old, so
okay.
I've only been eligible for this program for 5 years, so I feel like I've graduated.
That's right. We did have the waiting plan for you. You know, I was like, well, I mean, Eric, we can't have him on. We've had people with newborns on. We've had not dads on before. But for you, we were like, we need to give Eric some time, you know?
Yeah. Let me really dig into this parenting thing.
That's right. Well, I mean, like, I don't know. I'm sure you remember what your life was like before kids, where you thought you had an idea of what it was like to be a dad. And now you have a kid and you're like, I was really arrogant. I really thought I understood this.
This is hard.
Yeah.
This is really hard. And it's not, and I'm a road guy, so it's not as hard for me as it is for my wife,
Yeah.
She's got the harder job. I get to come and have days off on the road and sleep.
Yes.
Like there's no days off at home,
There's not. Nope. There's always something. How many days do you tour? Like, what's your touring schedule like?
We're kind of out like 7 or 8 months a year.
Yeah.
And we're usually out for like 3 to 4 weeks, and then we're home for a week, 2 weeks, and then out in the back. But we usually take 3 months off for the holidays.
Oh, cool.
And there's like a month here. We had April off. I think we're gonna have October off. So it's a little bit random, but it's there's a general, we're not out for 3 months at a time like other situations,
Yep.
So that's good. But the gig before, I play with Chicago now, in case nobody knows. The gig before that, I played with Dwight Yoakam, and the country acts are more like weekend. So I was home every week. So that transition was a little bit tough, but I'm, on a bus with lots of great guys, and they're all mostly dads. So like the kid will come out, and my wife is here now for a couple of days, and we left the kid with her mom, and so we had to just manage whenever there's a little break. Like we have 2 days off, so like great, fly here, we can at least hang out, and then the last run ended in Chattanooga, but we played Nashville. We played Knoxville, Nashville, Chattanooga. So the kid came out to Knoxville, just rode the bus for a couple of days and ended out that tour. So that was, the opportunities come up, and he's grown up in it. So he just loves it and loves the bus, and he just can't wait to get back.
What's his favorite thing on like the tour bus? Or what's he like on a tour bus?
Oh man, I just posted a TikTok of him giving us a tour of the tour bus, like unscripted, unprompted. He just started doing it, and my wife started recording. And
that's awesome.
So he's very, the modern day tour bus is a lot like, Star Trek, like all the doors are, you push a button and, so it's very exciting for him. And just having the run of the bus, he owns the bus when he's on the bus.
Yep.
So he really digs it. And he's got, luckily me and my wife, we met on tour, and like we love to travel, and we're very mobile. And luckily he's got that same kind of bug. Like he's he's a FOMO kid. He's just, he's a night owl, unfortunately, and and just fits right in. He'd rather be touring than going to school.
That's right. Did he start kindergarten this year?
No, he's going to start next year, but he's been going to a preschool for the last 2 years.
Yeah.
In Hermitage, like a little Methodist church school, and like they call it a mom's day out, mom's day out or something is kind of the Nashville term. Yeah. So he's been going to school 5 days a week, 9 to 2 for 2 years. So he's very familiar with that too.
Nice.
But, so,
well,
I have a feeling it's going to be a challenge. He's going to not want to be in school.
Yes, because it's different. Because when they're in pre-K or something, like missing a day of pre-K, like you don't want to. I'm not promoting to skip pre-K days on this podcast. It feels different. Like, because my kids are they're about to be in 5th grade, 3rd grade, and my youngest will be in kindergarten. So like a family vacation in which I take them out of school to go do something feels drastically different than like a pre-K. So like it just has a different tone. It's structured differently. You have to take it not more seriously, but you have to take it more seriously.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's truancy laws, like
there are.
You could get in trouble. I don't think many people do, but it's in writing, that you could go to jail for not sending your kid to school, so.
Yep. Yeah.
Where pre-K is like basically daycare, glorified daycare,
Okay. Can we just talk about the glory of your tour bus being pulled over and you in a rock band getting arrested for truancy? Not for like rock star lifestyle or anything like that, but just
that would be
man,
epic.
You got to go.
Talk about street cred.
Street cred. Yeah. I'm like, what are you in for, man? I forgot how many days my kid had missed, and now I'm here.
Too many vacations, dude.
Too many vacations, man. Life on the buzz. How old were you when you had your son?
49.
Okay.
So now I'm 54 and wondering what were we thinking? My wife is 10 years younger. She probably doesn't want me to announce that. But she's younger, so but still of a later birthing age. You know what I mean?
I do.
So we're very tired all the time, and
but it's how long have you and your wife been together for?
19 years. So we were together 14 years before we had the kids. So that's alone is an adjustment, because now we don't, our lives, what we thought were our lives are very much not.
Yes.
And then and then I guess he was a year and a half when we moved from LA to Nashville. So it was like, we sort of just like, extremely changed our life,
You did.
And I had gotten the new gig too with Chicago, and it was just like within 2 years our lives were just completely different, which is not atypical of my path really, especially as a musician. It's like, I did spend 12 years with a smooth jazz artist, Keiko Matsui, but other than that, it's like every 4 or 5 years I tend to get a call, and things change. And so I guess it's good for him to get used to it right off the bat, because this is
Well, I mean, I've talked to a ton of musicians, and it's kind of like, this is the gig this year. This is the gig for this tour. And you do have to have a certain level of flexibility of knowing hey man, I have a friend who plays for the Fray, and he's like, yeah man, this is a great gig. I'm loving it. I hope they keep asking me to come back. Because that's basically the reality of when you play in a band.
Yep. That's very right. And, I've been really lucky in that sense. Like I said, I did spend 12 years with Keiko Matsui. She's very loyal to her band. And then Dwight Yoakam, he's not a guy who wants to make changes, so I've gotten some of those. And then Chicago, the first thing Lee Loughnane said to me on the phone is like, we don't like change. We want you to be in this band a really long time. So I've been pretty lucky, but I've also... I met my wife on the High School Musical tour, which was a huge phenomenon in this massive tour. But we did 2 tours, and that was over forever. Then I went on to Corbin Bleu. He did 3 tours, and that was done. So it's almost like the bigger pop things. They just kind of, they're on whatever path they want. And it's hard.
Yeah.
So it's all about keeping the balls in the air, you know?
Right. Where I would assume Chicago's like, it's been interesting to talk to more musicians where like they play with a band who has an established sound. Like if I go to Chicago show, I know what to expect to some extent. And like I have a prediction of what you guys are going to sound like, what the vibe is going to be like. Because you guys aren't like in your 20s trying to change the music scene. You're just like, hey, we're having fun doing this. Let's get out there, let's play some good tunes and enjoy ourselves.
Yeah, for sure. And they changed the music industry in their 20s, you know? And now they're just still, you know, and then they did again in their 30s. And like they've had decades of massive hits and sort of, you know, evolving as a band and everything. So it is, but they've also we're about to do the 60th year of touring.
That's crazy.
They've toured every year for 60 years. Like they've lived on the road. So if you're a road guy like me and you want a steady gig, work with guys who don't know how to exist not on the road. You know what I mean?
I do. Yeah.
Their whole lives are the road. So like Lee is 79, I think now. He's the only original member right now left, but and he's just been on the road since his 20s. So he doesn't. He shows no signs of stopping. You know.
Cool. Yeah. Does it? That's cool. You get to have your son and wife come out from time to time with you. Is it like? Yeah. When you are home, how long does it take you to get into like home life mode? Does it take you a good week or two and then you're back on the road?
Yeah. I mean, in the thick of things, like right now, it's I was just home for 10 days, I think, and it goes by fast. And I installed a thermostat and had to get the air conditioner fixed. And, I installed a thing at my studio, and like, it was just a lot of work the whole time. The time before that, I was off for a month, but in that time I had like 10 or 12 songs that were due. Like I also produce music in my studio at home. So I was just like in the studio just every day, squeezing it in, still be a dad, squeeze it in, I don't know. I'm only home a short time, so I don't want to neglect that, but I do have to get this done and there is money involved here, and so it's, I guess I kind of knew that intellectually when you have a kid that's going to be what it is, but until you're in the constant chaos of it all, it's a hard thing to imagine,
It is. And if your son's a night owl, like, because if my kids are up past 9, I'm like, what are we doing? Like, what, guys? Like, stay in your room. I'm done. I just put in a 6 to 9 shift. I'm done. I'm out of here. I want to just watch. I want to watch a non-kids TV show or listen to non-kids music. Can I please do that instead? And then I'm like, was I just being a jerk? And I'm like, no, man, you were just like on for like, how many hours is that? Like 15 hours? Like, you need a break. So
I know. And how many kids do you have?
3. So I have a 10-year-old, 10-year-old, 8-year-old, and he's almost 5.
Got you. Yeah. So that's a lot. Like that's another thing I can't even imagine. Like we had to sort of make that conscious decision. I mean, especially when you're getting older, it's like the risk of having a child and what can go wrong. At some point, I just kind of feel it's irresponsible to, so there was that. But even if we wanted to, I'm like, how would we manage 2 kids doing this,
You figure it out. You like, because I've had people say to me, how do you do 3 kids? I'm like, oh, we didn't start with 3. Like it was gradual. Like you have 1, your life is like, well, what did I just do? You have a second where you go, no, seriously, what did we just do? And then you have a third and you go, seriously, how do we keep on thinking we should be doing this? So it's
somebody stop us.
Somebody stop us. It's lovely. You figure it out. But like, that's the only thing I'll say is like, I didn't start with 3 kids. It's like, we didn't have triplets. So it was gradual. You figure it out. The older one, whether or not she likes it or not, does help out with the younger ones a little bit. And whether or not they like that or not is a different discussion too.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And that's the thing. Like we're the only ones. He requires the attention that a 5-year-old requires. And we're the only ones there. There's no go play with your brother, there's none of that, so there's challenges with just having one too,
Yep. And it's always whenever you're like, sit down to like update the budget, double check. It's like something where like, no, this actually needs my full focus here.
Exactly.
Let me go through let me go through like my emails. So I know there's something I'm missing. And also when your son gets into kindergarten, there's going to be 5,000 emails that you're going to miss, just as a heads up. And you're like, let me try to feel like I've got some steady footing. And they're like, watch this. And you're like, what is it? And they're like, I twirled. And you're like, okay. My tone of voice is awful right now. Hold on. Give me a second. So
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. But I don't know. I think it's great. I think it's good.
It is. No, it is. It is good, but it's such a steep learning curve where like, you can't now go be like, all right, man, I just need to listen through this demo one more time before I send it off to master. I need to listen to this one more time before I send it off to mastering. Like, I want to make sure everything sounds the way it sounds. The second you press play, he's at the door knocking and he just wants your attention and he wants your love.
Yeah.
And it feels so cruel to say no to that.
Yeah, oh man. And I'm really like, as long as he's cool, like he could be anywhere, and I've had him I had a beautiful studio in LA and, right off the bat, it was like, go play with all these instruments. I'm never precious about any of it. Break it. I'll buy a new one. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like go learn the stuff. He's around a lot. In fact, I'm debating whether to post right now. He wrote a song and so I recorded it with him and he's like, it's simple little song, but it's got like 2 key changes that he was demanding about where they go. And like, then as I was kind of recording him singing, he wanted to do he wanted to talk first. And like, so, and I think, this is really tricky. And you as a podcaster too, it's like, how much do I exploit my kid? Because he's cute, he's talented. And like, at what point do I make him an Instagram channel and go for it? Right. You know what I mean? Yeah. Or do I be, precious about that too? It's like so hard because he's so cute and he really is talented, so, oh man. So I'm still debating whether to post it, but, he's very entertaining. And but anyway, I did do another TikTok. I think it wasn't this New Year's, but the New Year's before where I did Old Lang Syne on my bass and the recording came out great because I'm there. I'm listening on headphones. I don't even think I had headphones on. I think I was just coming through the monitors, but he was in the next room playing his drums. And so I just TikToked the recording. And then as a follow-up, I was like, but this is what I heard. When I was recording this, and he's just all out of time and he's loud and he's crazy.
Loving it.
And I was like, and this is what, this is a good training because if you're in a band with people that aren't that talented, you still got to be good.
This is you're like, guys, if you aren't a professional musician, this is what starting GarageBand in your 50s will sound like, just so you know.
Exactly.
That's I have that same thought process also of like, I think my kids are cute. I think how they view the world is wonderful, but I don't want to make them content because that feels different. And like, I did like a video, my wife and I back in March saw like Frank Turner play out here, which I love Frank Turner, like Irish singer, songwriter, dude, punk rock. He's awesome. Cool. But like, so I was like playing through some of his songs on guitar and it's like my son put a laundry basket on his head and just kept running into my butt over and over and over again. So I was like, okay, this is kind of funny and you can't see his face. So I filmed me turning in a circle while playing the song and him just ramming his head into my back the entire time. I'm like, this is reality of having kids, but still wanting to follow or like feel the creative energy of like, I'm going to strum through a song and it's like, not very well.
Yeah. And it's tricky. And it's like, I don't want to set him up with something that he gets older and is like, why am I famous? Why, I mean, that's taking a leap, I'm assuming. I'm a proud dad. Yeah. Of course my kid's going to be famous.
Of course he's going to be the best out there. Yes.
But, it's such a tricky decision.
It is. And it seems like a big one. Yeah. In the moment, it seems casual to post a video of your child. But then it's like when 10 years from now, is he going to be like, Dad, I don't like that you shared my image. And you're like, no one even talked about if you should, like whenever I was growing up, no one cared if you shared an image. You were surprised if there's a picture of you.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So I don't know. I'm one to keep contemplating. And and maybe, eventually I want to retire. So I'm going to have to exploit him at some point.
Exactly. I mean,
I have no 401k.
That's true. That's your retirement plan.
Exactly. Yeah. We kind of joke too, like my wife's brother is Lucas Grabeel from High School Musical and from Switched at Birth. And he's, you know, a fairly, you know, famous actor. And so, and my son's got a lot of that sort of more actory energy than, you know, maybe a comedian, all these things that, like, you know, I just have a feeling that at some point we're probably going to end up back in LA for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's fun. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see how it pans out. And at that point, if we go back to LA, then he's got to pay his way. You know, at that point, he's going to have to get to work, man.
Yeah, correct. And like your house in LA is going to be like triple the cost of whenever you left. So now you got to. Did you actually live in LA or did you live like outskirts of LA?
I lived in Van Nuys in the Valley. Okay. And we bought a house in 1,100 square feet, but it had a pool and a detached garage that I built out into a studio.
Cool.
But then the pool was like the whole entire backyard. So once we had a kid, we're like, oh, now this is just a death trap. Like you can't even walk out the back door. It's like 3 steps to the pool.
Yeah, that would scare me.
Oh, well, that's not cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we had alarm on the back door and everything, you know, and then it just, since I took up the whole garage and turned it into a studio, like the storage and stuff was like, it was just like, you just add this one little person and we can't fit in this house anymore. So I moved to Nashville and paid the same price for 3 times the house.
Pretty much.
And like, you know, across from a beautifully safe elementary school. And, you know, like we're in the Mount Juliet, like out in the burbs, you know, and it's just, it's domestic bliss. You know what I mean?
Listen, we lived in Nashville for 18 years. We'd always wanted to move out to Denver area, be closer to the mountains and everything. And whenever we knew we were about to buy our next house and everything, it was time for us to get a little bit more room. And we saw the house of a cost in Davidson County and out here in the suburbs was the same cost. We were like, maybe that's the sign. But like, I never also would have assumed I'd be living the suburb life with 3 kids and all this stuff. I always assumed I'd be downtown, all this stuff. And I'm like, this is actually really nice. Like, I like this a lot. But like 15-year-old me would be like, what are you doing?
Oh, dude. Me too.
Yeah.
I'm like taking out the trash and like, what am I doing? I'm a rock star.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And I was, you know, initially I was really proud to like have a kid in LA too. And like, he's going to grow up with all the opportunities and all the resources and all the great food and like, you know, all the things that a big city brings. But it's just, LA is a hard place to live, period. Which for me, and I was talking about this with the band last night, actually, it's like being a musician, whatever level you're at, you're never there. You're always striving to be better and to you know, master this thing, and then you move on to the next thing, and you can't, and you're just in that mindset of being. You love the challenge of hard life, and I think LA just matched me. You know, like as a single, not single, but like child before I was a dad.
Yes.
It was like, oh, this is just, I love it. And people are like, how do you live in LA? And like, yeah, it's hard. And I do it every month. That rent gets paid. I don't know how, but it does. And I'm a full-time musician, you know, for my whole life, never had a day job. So, so it is that's another adjustment of moving to Nashville where things are much easier. There's no pressure, like the pressure in LA all the time. Like you're in the jungle, you know, and it's competitive and it's hard. And, but anyways, but adding the child it was just that one thing too hard. You know, the elementary school in our neighborhood was like a 2 out of 10. Like I can't send them there. So we can get into a magnet school, but it would be all the way to Bel Air and like, you're going to drive an hour every day at 6 in the morning through traffic to get your kid to school. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
So it was just
my wife
too hard.
Yes.
But I love LA and
of course, not to diss LA.
I didn't leave it because it was LA. You know what I mean? Exactly.
Of course. Well, my wife and I have always talked about like, so people go house shopping and without a kid, that's such a different experience. Cause like we're within 2 miles of our kids' elementary, middle, and high school. And as of right now, you know, we're happy with all 3 of them. We seem like it's going to be a good choice for all 3 of those options. But like, so people just move to a house because they like the house and they like the neighborhood. Huh. What's that like? I've never experienced that before.
Yeah. And I think and all those things. And, you know, for me too, it's like the proximity to the airport.
Yes.
You know,
so close from Mount Juliet.
Yeah. I'm like I can get from my front step to the gate in 35 minutes. Whereas like Van Nuys to LAX anymore, it's like 2 hours.
Dude.
It's the same amount of miles.
Yep. That's the thing we miss the most from living in Nashville, besides people and But like because out here in Denver, DIA is just so far out. And like,
dude, I call it the Kansas International Airport.
Because it basically is. So like, yeah, we used to, because we lived next to the zoo. So yeah, I mean, it was like 15 minutes to get to the airport. So if our flight was at 3, you leave at like 1:30, maybe. And that's if you want to eat food before you get on the plane. So whereas now it's like, okay, flight's at 3, we should leave at noon. And it's like, oh, it's just different. That's just different.
Yeah. I was around because I'm from Denver, I grew up in Denver. I grew up in Denver. And I was around when that airport was being built. And so like when I was a kid, it was Stapleton Airport, which was still sort of far. I grew up in Broomfield. It's still sort of far from Broomfield, but not as bad. And then they built this big, huge, beautiful airport, but it was like so far away. And now they have like, I haven't lived there in 25 years, but now they have like other roads. Is it like C470 or
C470? E470 is like the
E470, I think.
E470 is the paid where it's a toll road.
The toll road, yeah.
And it's
it's like you can get there a lot faster from certain areas of town, but it's still just so far out. And then if it's away. And if you're in a blizzard, forget about it.
Nope.
You're going to be blown right off of that road,
You will be. Yep. That was one thing because about moving out here that I didn't anticipate is how much wind affects everything. Because like I've never I've dealt with tornadoes. Nashville had tons of tornadoes. But like you're driving on the road and you literally like got like the gust of wind moves you, and I'm like, oh, this is not fun. I do not like that.
Yeah. When I moved to LA, because in Denver, I was a full-time musician as well. So I had to play the ski towns to really make a living. And it's part of your thing. So you're, and I just got so mad at like an avalanche can keep you out of a weekend of work. You know what I mean? I can't work because I can't get to the bar, And like moving to LA, it's like, if I never see snow again.
Yeah.
And then when I moved to Nashville, they're like, oh, it snows every 3 years. Every year we've gotten a blizzard or it's getting worse and worse everywhere. But like, so that's another adjustment. But LA, when I first moved there, I would be driving through like the Hollywood Hills and there'd be these houses with these really steep driveways. And I'd just be like, how do they do that in the winter? Like, oh
easily.
Yeah, they don't have winter.
Yeah. That's why they moved here, so they could avoid seasons. Yes,
exactly. Yeah. But I do love Denver. Like I grew up there from 2.5 to, I think I left when I was 29 or 30.
Okay, nice.
So I went to Berkeley for a minute in Boston, and then I came back and worked in Denver for probably 8 or 9 years before I moved to LA. And a lot of great musicians there, a lot of great, and I grew up in Broomfield, which is more Boulder too. So I was kind of
Boulder's gorgeous.
The beauty of both, Yeah. So I miss it. We thought about moving to Denver, but it's just it's a little expensive.
It is.
And it's, and at least Nashville, if I lose this gig, it's still a music center.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now we just visit.
Cool.
Still.
Nice. Yep. Definitely love it out here. I was going to ask you, so you mentioned like your house in LA, you had like you had the pool and you had the alarm for the door so your kid couldn't get out of it. I feel like parenting unlocks new levels of anxiety that I didn't know existed before about physical safety of just like, what if this kills my child? And it's like, I never even knew this could kill a child, but now here I am terrified. I'm terrified of everything. How do you feel like you deal with that anxiety these days?
It's getting easier because he is a boy, and I just get used to him just being bruised all the time.
Pretty much.
He's always bruised. And like we had laughing about it the other day because I'm like, where did this boo-boo come from? He's like, I don't know. Like he doesn't even know how he gets so bruised, But in the beginning, especially I only have one child, but I can imagine it. Everyone says that the next one gets easier and the next one gets easier. But in the beginning, you're just like, you just feel like everything's going to destroy this kid. Like it's just a puddle of skin and bones and, poop.
Yeah, pretty much. Yep.
But, So it's getting a lot easier now. I don't worry as much. And he's a cautious kid, which I kind of, maybe it's me. Like everything he does, I'm like, careful.
Mm-hmm.
Like careful comes out of my mouth all day long. So I think it's a little bit more ingrained in him.
Yeah.
So that makes me feel better because some kids just aren't. Some kids are just crazy daredevils.
Oh yeah.
And he's pretty cautious, naturally. So
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, so I think after 5 years, it's chilled a little bit.
That's
but
good.
At first, then like the scenarios, I'm also like always 8 steps ahead of what could happen, and just the visions in your head of your child dying in awful ways, just are just okay. So okay, don't think about that. Everything's gonna be fine.
Yep. Well, it's funny because then you realize that like your worst case scenario and your wife's worst case scenario can be very drastically different. So you're then trying to explain how like you're really anxious about something that will never ever happen. But what if it did ever happen? And your wife is just there like, why did your brain go here? And you're like, I wish I knew too. I don't know at all.
Oh my gosh, totally. The first Christmas tree, I was like,
dude,
all this dude has to do is fall in a weird way, and he puts his eye out. You know what I mean? And she's like, he's not going to put his eye out. It's a Christmas tree. Everyone has a Christmas tree, I'm like, can we just get a fence around the Christmas tree? Like, why does he need to go anywhere near it?
Yep. Totally get, or like, fireplaces, whenever, especially because like when they have like no neck muscles, they can barely walk and everything. Like, a fireplace in the corner of a fireplace or the edge of a fireplace, death trap. Yeah. You're going to get scars.
I have a scar on my head from when I was 3 years old and fell and hit my head on the fireplace and it's 3 stitches.
Yep.
So it's not unrealistic.
It's not unrealistic. Yeah. And then your wife is like, Eric, just calm down. And you're like, but it's right here. My proof is right here. And she's just like, we'll put up a fence. We'll buy a full noodle and cut it in half and put it on there. It'll be good.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it's a trip. It's all those things that like you just don't think about until he's there. And then I also don't think you realize, for me, it's like I don't think I'll ever sleep the same way again.
No.
Thankfully, I get to come out here where it's like, if I'm at a hotel, there's nothing I could do. So I can sleep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If I'm at home and our child still sleeps in the bed with us. So which almost out of like convenience for me, because the bed we have our master's on the our primary bedroom is on the ground floor, and his bedroom's upstairs. So that's kind of weird. And if something happened, like we have a camera in there and stuff, but then he doesn't want to sleep there anyway. So so as a dude, I'm just like, when I go to bed, everything that's important is right here, But still, it's like every little movement he makes, you're just like, you're connected forever now, like you can never really sleep, it's, and worse for her,
Probably.
So it's, it's that's one thing I didn't really realize either,
Yeah. Well, cause you're trying to figure out like, what does good sleep mean anymore? And like if your kid is, whenever we looked at houses out here, like 3 bedrooms were upstairs, but like, the primary bedroom was like downstairs in the basement. And we're like, wait, is our bedroom down there? Oh, I really don't feel comfortable with all 3 of our kids sleeping upstairs while we're downstairs. Like that makes me feel anxious, and we haven't even bought the house yet. So that's a no. Yeah. But then, if your kids are on the same floor as you, then like, inevitably they come into your room throughout the night if they didn't just even start there. And like, we're also not like close the door and lock it if our kids are like in the house. Like, it's like, no, like I want them to be able to walk into a room, like, and stuff. But then it's like, oh, cool. Well, now I'm sleeping super light because my body's anticipating a need to meet at 3 a.m. So this is great.
Yeah. It's a trip, I've never experienced, I slept 8 hours, but I'm so exhausted. You know what I mean? I actually did get a solid 7 hours in the bed, but I don't feel like I slept.
No. Do you do like sleep score stuff like on an Apple Watch or anything like that?
I don't.
Don't do
it.
It'll make you. Don't do it. It'll make you real sad every single day.
Yeah, and then that's another thing too. It's like weed is not legal in, and the gummies are very good for the sleeping.
They are.
And you can't get them, which is another adjustment and a total trip, And you're in Denver, like the first state to legalize it. And it's just, just having access to that is, it's like, so every time I'm in a legal state, I sort of don't tell the FBI or anything.
I won't.
Like I bring some back for my wife, because she's like, I gotta sleep.
Yeah. And melatonin scares me sometimes. Like taking melatonin, I would never. Ambien also scares me because I've heard of people who were like, I drove to Taco Bell and got food and I don't remember any of and I'm like, well, that's terrifying. So no Ambien here. Thank you.
Yeah. And the melatonin, like the dreams, like I just dream like crazy. And then I'm up after 5 hours, that's what it feels like. And then I'm still sort of hungover the next day. Like, I don't know. There's no solution. You just gotta wait till they're 18 or 25 or 30 or never. I don't know.
Or never.
Exactly. Or you just go on the road with your favorite band.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. When do you normally try, like if you're home, I would imagine also like, if your son isn't in bed until like 9 or 10ish or so, I'm sure you do have in your head, you're like, I just want to listen through the song. I want to do something for myself, like before I go to bed. I usually never stay up until like 11:30 or midnight every night because of that scenario. I'm like, I just want to listen to your podcast, I want to do some editing. Sure. Okay. Now it's almost 1 a.m. What am I doing still awake? Do you experience that also?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Because I'm also I was trying to put out an original, so I make my own music as well.
Yeah.
So I was trying to do a song a month. I have a whole record written. I have a whole record of 12 songs written that I just haven't had time to produce as a record. And people don't really make records anymore anyway. So I'm like, great, I'll just do one every month.
Yeah.
And then I got the Chicago schedule.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, well, there's just no way I can keep up. I'm already, 2 months behind,
Yeah.
So, I'm still trying to do that. So it's like, I'll get up in the morning when he was in school, and he goes to school for 5 hours. So I take time to work then. And then he'd go to bed at like 8:30 and then I work until like midnight.
Yeah.
And it's, so I'm just always working, But that's parenting, you know what I mean?
It is.
Like there's no days off. There's no, it's a full-time gig,
Yep.
And it's a lot, and as a guy too, I think I've heard anyways also, but it rings true to me. Like when they're babies, it's a lot harder because it's just a chore. And I'm like, where's the part where I get to give him cool advice and like be the wise guy, So now that he's getting to be 5 and he loves music and he's talented. And now it's like, we go up and we jam and he loves Chicago. And like, he's just obsessed and constantly singing obscure horn parts that I didn't even notice were in Chicago songs. He's like that kind of kid. And he sings all day long, which drives my wife nuts. But my heart just grows bigger and bigger every time he does.
That's so sweet.
So now it's just getting to be a lot more like, oh, now I get why we did this. No,
but
for the first 3 years, probably, because the threes were horrible. Yeah.
Yep. I'll usually tell Dad's side of like, hey, the first 2 or 3 years, you're going to assume that you know how to help. And every time you try to help, you're going to feel like you didn't make anything better. And then still try to feel connected to your child and your wife at the same time. Whenever whenever that kid's less than 1, like all my kids just wanted my wife more than me. So it's like, let me soothe this child. And it's like, nope, I'm making everything worse. And it's like, cool.
Right.
So, once they get like 4 or 5, they become big storytellers and stuff. The, opportunities to connect and trust the connection is like drastically different.
Yeah. And him being musical too, it's like, I'm a little bit of a god to him. He gets to go to the show and see me up there in front of 5,000 people screaming at me, so it's pretty, that's kind of cool. And that's another thing my wife, cause I never wanted it to, I was hoping that I was done with all this by the time I had a child.
Yeah.
So that I didn't want to be the guy who was on the road and missing his kids growing up, It just all kind of, I keep trying to work it into some kind of TikTok about like when all your dreams come true at once, it can be kind of drag. You know what I mean? It's a lot of juggling, but here I am and I stress about it a lot. And my wife's always just like, you know what? You get to be the hero who comes down, who comes home and he loves you. And like, he gets to see you on stage and like all that stuff is important too. So, I coming to terms with all of that every day because it gets harder and harder too. The more older he gets, and then he sees the suitcases, and he's like, "Are you leaving?" Because he doesn't really have a concept of time yet. To where we're like, "I'm going to be leaving in a week." Yeah, so we don't even tell him until it's like the night before because he doesn't know anyways, and so it gives him less time to be bummed about it. But anyways, it's that, that's
it's
the
reality. No,
juggle.
It's reality, man. Yeah.
Because, but if I was in the military, there's so many. If I was a salesperson, I'm not the only traveling job in the world.
You're not. No. Yeah. No, not at all.
And I can't even talk about it around military people because they're gone for like 9 months at a time when they're deployed or whatever.
And might not be able to communicate with their family as well. Whereas like you could probably FaceTime, you can do all this stuff, and they're just like, it's not the same scenario. So. Yeah, it's always, I feel like there's always an interesting moment of like, it's not like who has it worse than you, but it's like, okay, I'm not the first person to do this. So that's good to know. And like, my wife and I are really big on, I've been a stay-at-home parent since like 2019, is you just check back in and you're like, hey, is this still the arrangement that's good for us? Like, it's like, okay, cool. Is me being on the road so much, is it good? I'm having fun. Is this all set? Are we good? And if in a year from now, everything is like the discontent, the like unsettledness kicks in more, it's like, oh, well, let's talk about it. Because I think some people, I think some parents are very much like, no, this is our life now. And it's like, just have a discussion, just talk about it. Like, Eric, it's like, true. If it feels uncomfortable to you, like, hey, how do we, I'm sure Chicago will let you bring them out more. Like, there are options here. So don't just sit in discomfort,
Right. And they do that. And we, we're preparing, but like you said, he's about to start real school, and that's going to get more of a challenge. But and again, it's like 3 weeks at a time, and if we can just fit one visit within each tour, then it's never more than like me and my wife when we first got together, we had a 12-day rule, anyways. And so if we could sort of stick to that, as much as we can, and it's going to be fine. It's just tricky, because as a musician, it's like. This is the time where I'm making enough money with a steady working job to where she can be at home. Yep. And so she quit her job in LA, and so we're just, I don't want to say stuck necessarily. It's a good place to be stuck, but this is just a time we're just going to have to get through. It's going to be a little less flexible just because we got to take advantage of what we're dealing with. And right now I'm worth, this amount of money, and if somebody gets to be home with a kid, and that's like amazing, especially with just one, I think. So,
I mean, it's reality. Like, my wife works a job that is stressful enough and has enough responsibility to it that they pay her enough money to support a family of 5 in a big city. So like, my wife and I feel the same way of like, okay, there's a lot that she has to not put up with. That's a negative connotation. There's a lot she has to handle and hold. And so, like, if anything, I'm sure your wife feels the same way. Like, cool, well, I better hold this really well then. Because you're holding a lot. I'm going to hold my end. We're in this together. Let's do this. But it's just reality. It's reality is that for you to be able to support your family the way you're supporting them, you have to go work in this way. It's reality.
Yeah, it's true. And maybe it'll be different. I am very envious of what you just said, being a stay-at-home dad. I kind of would, would be my dream job probably, as exhausting as it is. But I do, like I said, like I just had 3 months off from the middle of November to the middle of February.
Cool.
So we'll get to be home for all the holidays, and that's a big chunk of time. And when I'm home, I'm home. I'm working on my own music and stuff, but I'm home. What kid gets that? Like their dad home for 3 months of the year at least. I would say, usually 4 or 5 months throughout the year I'm home.
That's cool.
And when I'm home, I'm all yours.
Yep.
So that's pretty cool.
Nice. That's awesome. Well, I'll probably, in the interest of time, wrap down the episode. So how I end every episode is ask every guest a series of 5 questions. They're kind of like icebreaker. If you've listened to an episode, you've heard them before. So
right.
Here we go. First question is, did you have any backup names for your son? Like, did you have anything that you almost named him?
Well, me and my wife, his name is Lennon, and I wanted McCartney, and she won. I thought McCartney would be a cool, interesting name, first name, and then call him Mickey.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah, that's good.
And then, so yes, we went back and forth to that. And then his middle name is my middle name, Alan. But I also was thinking of like Atticus. That was another one I thought might have been cool. Because her brother's name is Lucas and she's Autumn. And so we wanted like an LA thing, and he's born in LA and I love LA. So so he ended up Lennon Allen.
Okay.
But that was the path.
Nice. See, my favorite Beatle is George Harrison. So
nice.
I mean, 2 first names, it's great. Next question. Do you have a favorite TV or movie dad?
You know what? Probably the dad on the movie Poltergeist. What's his name?
Craig T. Nelson?
Yeah. He was very funny and cool and in the moment and just seemed cool. And then when he went on to do Coach, he was sort of the same character in a way. Wasn't a dad in that, I don't think.
No.
Or was he? No, he had a daughter. Maybe he did have a daughter.
I feel like Coach is one of those shows where I've watched a lot of episodes. I can't tell you a single detail about an episode. I can't tell you what station was on or anything like that. But I know I've watched lots of episodes of Coach and I have no idea why.
Yeah. I'm probably showing my age a little bit too.
There we go.
I would go with that. Or the guy from Malcolm in the Middle.
Oh, Hal? Yeah.
He's pretty hilarious, but I don't know that I'd want him as my dad. Right. Or Modern Family.
Phil? Yeah. Phil Dunphy. Yep.
Yeah. Big time.
Well, because that's always the question is like the thought process for this question is like, is it the dad I want to be or the dad I actually am? Because like, I would love if I was a Phil Dunphy dad because he's an awesome dad. But am I more like Hal from Malcolm in the Middle? Just kind of screaming and not knowing what's going on. Which one?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This Is Us.
Oh, yeah.
First
Jack.
season.
Yeah.
Jack. I'm going to start crying just thinking about it.
Oh, dude, yeah. Well, I mean, the show was cruel. That show was intentionally like, it's like, okay, it's a 50-minute show. I've made it 40 minutes without crying. There's still 10 minutes.
There's
still 10 minutes.
Did you ever see the movie Beaches?
No, I didn't.
Back in the 80s?
No.
I call that a Beaches show. Because Beaches was just like, the whole movie just sets you up for the most gut-wrenching ending, and you're like, why did you just do that to me?
Why did you do that to me? And then and now I'm watching it again? Why did I do that?
I know. Yeah, but that's interesting. Those are Yeah. And This Is Us featured Saturday in the Park in one of their episodes. So that I just can't even watch that scene because the child's blind and they use Saturday in the Park to be like, 4 steps to the street, and it's just like, tears. And I talked to Robert after I saw that scene and I was like, Robert, man, I just saw your song in this show. It's amazing. And he's like, oh, really? Like he didn't even know. His team worked it out, Like,
yeah, of course.
Like, that's cool.
What a place in your career to be in which your music is being used in like generation defining television and you just heard about it casually.
I know. Totally.
So, that's cool. I'll be for the scene. And it's like, all right, that's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
It is. Next question. What's your go-to replacement curse word? Like whenever you stub your toe, you're around your son, what do you say instead of the curse word? Or do you still just say the curse word?
Oh, I try really hard to not say the curse word. I'm a musician, so it's really hard, especially if I'm on the road and they come out to visit. It takes me a good 4 or 5 hours to adjust. I tend to say things like stupid and idiot, which are kind of not, they're not curse words per se, but my wife still hates that I use them. And they're probably still words that, and she's always like, well, we don't want to say that. And I'm like, yeah, but what if it's stupid?
What if I'm right?
Yeah. I mean, there are things that are stupid. Like
it's true.
We don't want him calling his friend stupid or his teacher or whatever, but like stupid exists as a concept, that's, and idiot is actually a technical term.
Yeah. And then she's like, when's bus call again? When you
Exactly. I know. I don't push back too hard, but that's probably it. I can kind of do the switch, and turn the curse words off most of the time, I think.
We do the same with stupid because we don't want our kids calling each other stupid or calling the other person stupid. But we're like, okay, if you use it at someone's or towards someone, then we don't like that. But also, things are stupid. So
yeah. And concepts are stupid. Ideas are stupid.
And then you go into
maybe you're not a stupid person, but it's a stupid idea.
You're not a jerk, but you're being a jerk. So how do I explain that?
Exactly. It's complicated.
And then it's real complicated. And then I'm sure in your head also you're like, but do you know what word I didn't say whenever I said stupid? Do you know what other words I could have said? And you're like, Well, that's not, now you're going to open up that door to your son where he's going to be like, what word could you have said? And you're like, never mind. I shouldn't have. Just need to keep that door closed. Yeah,
we've got a rule currently because he gets a kick out of saying freaking.
Oh, yeah.
And like, so now we're like, you can only say that in the car.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Like, you can't say that anywhere else but the car. In the car, you can be like,
freaking. You can say
exactly. Yeah.
It's like in the cars and parks, though.
Yeah. Because that's another thing, too, that's like tricky about curse words. Like, I don't know. It's like you're going to have to learn how to use them correctly. If you use it correctly and you're not using it in an inappropriate moment, then I'm not going to be that bad about it. Don't say that in front of your teacher.
Yeah.
And like, maybe that seems hypocritical or whatever, but those are just societal rules, you know, like, you know, what you say in your own time. And I'd rather you at least be using it correctly. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Honestly, man, that is
my ears don't hurt. You know what I mean? I don't care.
Common answer is like, well, did you use it correctly? And I feel like if I found out my kid cursed at school, I'd be like, was it directed at someone? No. Okay, that's a good step one. What was the context? Ooh, that is an accurate use of that word. So therefore, I will only punish you so you understand. Not punish. I will only tell you the consequences of this word so you know that so you don't end up back here again.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. It's about learning that. And you know, in my heart anyways, it's like, these are all made up rules. Pretty much. These are sounds we're making with our mouth. How offended can you be? You know, like, and I'm a Gen Xer. I grew up sticks and stones may break my bones, words would never hurt me. So, you know, I have to adjust. It's not exactly what the current societal theme is, you know, so I'm open to all of that. But at the same time, my inner core is just like, this is ridiculous.
Is F it? Yeah. I get it.
Exactly.
Next question. What's like one of your favorite activities or toys that you get to play with your son or that you do with your son?
Definitely playing music.
Yeah.
You know, it's really fun. He's got he was 2 when I bought him a drum set.
That's cool.
Because I just couldn't wait. You know, it's a little kid drum set, you know.
Of course, yeah.
So we go up and he's not good at it, but it was just fun. And then but I also have like a bonus room that has PA set up, and he knows how to turn the PA on. He knows how to set his mic up, turn on the keyboard. So and what channel's the keyboard in? Like he's super like into all that stuff. So it's really fun to just even the setup. And he's like, okay, today we're going to have a show. So I got to set up my mic, or today we're just practicing. You know, and it's just,
I love it so
just
much.
The greatest thing in the world. I can't like that. I just can't even, it's just so amazing. And I can see the future because he is talented and he's already writing songs. Like the reason I recorded that song is because, and it's like, let's go, go. It's just that over and over again. And then it changes keys. But he like got his friends at school to sing along with him. They all know this song that he wrote. Yeah. Like he's already got a following and like people who will buy his record when it comes out.
That's right.
So it's just fascinating to watch that. And I just feel like I can already see in the future where this is not going to be like me as the father teaching. This is going to be a collaboration because he's already got ideas in his head, you know?
That's so cool.
He's already processing all this stuff and spitting out other music, you know? And that's such a joy. That's cool. You know,
you just want to nurture it. You just want to put him in situations where he knows like this is cool or like this is good.
Yeah.
So keep exploring this. Yeah.
Yeah. And every once in a while, I try to teach him something.
Yeah,
just because I taught school. I taught marching band for like 7 years after I graduated high school. I taught marching percussion at Broomfield High School, and did many competitions at Columbine. Like,
cool. Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah, I'm in Littleton. Right? So it's like 10 minutes away. Yeah.
Yeah. And, so you know, I'm a teacher by nature.
Cool.
I feel like, but at the same time, it's like, I don't want to burn him out. And it's like every once in a while. So I was like, hey, check this out. Hand or foot, hand, foot, hand, foot, hand. And he tries it and he can't do it. And he's like, okay, whatever. And he starts playing again. But then like a week later, I just hear him up there going foot, hand, foot,
every time,
hand, you know, so
every time.
So it's like, I try to sneak in the lessons but not push him too much. Cause it's like, it's music, man. Just make notes, make something that sounds good to you. And so that's really fun. And I miss being a teacher. Like I've said this on other podcast interviews and on my podcast too. It's like, I had to make that choice of, do I want to do this professionally or do I want to go back to college and be a teacher? And to this day, I don't know if I made the right choice, because there's the feeling of sitting in front of 85,000 people and hearing your name during is one thing, but to see a student like go, oh, I got this. It just feels so much more significant. So cool. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that now to have that in my life with my own little kid, it's like, it's pretty cool. It's like, maybe really cool. I'm going to get the best of everything now,
That's awesome. And then, last question for you is, what is your least favorite kids show? Like, if your son goes to watch it, you're just like, oh, this thing is driving me crazy.
Kid Crew.
I don't even, what is Kid Crew?
Did you ever watch Kid Crew? It's on YouTube. It's a YouTube.
Oh, we try to avoid YouTube.
Well, Miss Rachel, grew up with her and she like just, he was speaking words and I'm like, where'd you learn? Oh, Miss Rachel. It's like, some stuff on YouTube is pretty amazing.
There's a couple.
So I think that's why it's like, I don't, we'll let them roam. And then Kid Crew, the thing about Kid Crew is it's this family and they're playing and they're playing with this, and it's just like, it must be some rich guy because this kid has toys like all these little drivable things, and they put all these. So the actual show of it is cool. There's a lot of imagination, but they're also sort of learning things. But they have one song, and it plays the entire time, and it's just this song over and over, and it's a horrible song. And I'm like, if they just changed the song, I wouldn't care. But it's like it makes it to where I can't watch more than 10 minutes. And I'm just like, I got to leave. This is driving me nuts.
Yep. Well, it's so funny because like, you don't know what it's going to be for a show. Like, because it might be like, oh man, if they would just change the key, if they would just do anything, just any variation. And you're like, why does this matter so much to me? He's like, this is who I am. And apparently this is what pisses me off today. Here we go.
Right. Yeah, totally. So that I would probably say that. Okay. But there's so many good kids.
So many good. There are.
Like it's much easier to talk about the great ones because there's just so many right now, I don't know. Like Bluey and
Bluey's awesome.
My kid was obsessed with Trash Trucks.
Oh yeah,
Trash Truck. Did you ever watch Trash Truck?
It's like the most calm show ever. It's so good.
Oh yeah. And they totally match those are LA trash trucks. So then every morning, so like every Thursday morning, we'd go out on the porch and wave at the trash truck. It's like he got to see it in real life and then go watch the show. And it was really, really cool. And we had a cool guy who would honk, and
that's awesome.
And it was, so there's just a lot of good stuff compared to when I was a kid,
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. The Saturday morning cartoons, you either watched it or you went outside. And that was it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, very different. Yeah. And then last thing for you is just like moment for self-promotion. We didn't even talk about your podcast at all, but if you wanted to promote your podcast, it's like, I don't know, how do we find out tour dates for Chicago for you? All that good stuff. Do some self-promotion.
Okay. Well, I do have a podcast called the Dive Bar Rockstar Podcast, and I basically interview musicians and colleagues and friends and people in the industry. I have one crew guy. I want to get more of the crew going in, but lately there's been some changes in Chicago. So it's like new people come in and I interview them and while I'm on the road and stuff. But that started during the pandemic when I was just like, I want to talk to my friends and stay in touch.
That's cool. Yeah.
Maybe chronicle my career a little bit. And it's just now we've got 51 episodes and
oh, nice.
And so it's sort of a labor of love. I'm not consistent enough with it to make money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's a great way to showcase my friends and their music and just talk. If you want to know about what it's like to be a musician, there's lots of other stories on there besides mine, and then like I said, I'm putting out my own original stuff as Eric Baines. So Spotify, Apple Music, all of that stuff. I'm like I said, I have 12. I've put out 3 so far, I think. So, if you want to go check that out, and it's free, most of the time it's free to listen on Spotify, but it really helps me,
Yeah, nice.
And then I think chicagotheband.com, those are all those dates. And we do about 100 dates a year still. So we're out there. And this summer, starting next month, we're doing 2 months with Styx.
Oh, cool.
So Styx in Chicago, and we'll be at the Ball Arena.
Oh, cool. Nice.
In Denver. So, so it's just an awesome gig. I've never had a better gig. I love it every night. I can't wait to play the next show.
Dude, that's awesome. So, it's got to be so different to join an established band. I feel like I have a friend who like produces music, and I studied like production stuff. And it's like, it's so cool to be in a space where you're like, okay, they've got all this awesome stuff. How do I just not ruin it? How do I make sure to show respect to what they got going on? And like similar if you're producing someone, like they've already got something beautiful. It's your job to make sure it gets like to make it more beautiful, make it sound better and everything. And like,
that's exactly right.
Just show up and do it, man. You got this.
I was literally just talking about on the bus last night, and because one of my favorite movie lines of all time is Saving Private Ryan. Tom Hanks' last words. You know, they're all died saving Matt Damon, and he goes, "Earn this, earn this." And it's like, that's what I'm not Chicago. I am now because they chose that. But I'm living my life on the backs of all their hard work.
Yep.
You know, and I have to honor that and earn that place every night, you know, and it's fulfilling in that sense, you know, different than other gigs. And I've always said, you know, as a professional musician, I don't have the luxury of deciding this music that I like. I don't have the luxury of playing songs I like all the time, you know? So to be in a band that I've worshiped my whole life, like I love Chicago from day one. My parents saw Chicago months before I was conceived, you know, like it was probably the first music I ever heard.
That's so
and
cool.
Here I am getting to do that and carry on the legacy and to honor that stuff every night. It's a much more fulfilling situation than I've ever had in my life, really.
Yep. No, it's really cool. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty much all I've got for you. Thanks, Eric. Nice talking to you too.
Bye.
See you, man.
Thank you so much for listening to the episode. Make sure to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at the Imperfect Dads Podcast. And make sure to give us 5 stars wherever you listen to us. Music, editing, and production is all done by me. Make sure to tune in on Mondays and most Thursdays for new episodes. This podcast is part of the Never Effaced Network. Make sure to go to nevereffacednetwork.com to learn more about them.